While ISSA operates globally, its regional teams play a critical role in supporting members locally. In the Oceania and Asia Pacific region, the ISSA team based in Australia helps connect professionals across the region, provides education and training, hosts industry events, and promotes the importance of cleaning as a driver of public health, sustainability, and business success. So today we're going to be joined by three members of the ISSA, Oceania, and Asia Pacific team to talk about their roles, the work they do to support the industry across the region, and their vision for the future of cleaning and facility solutions. It's my pleasure to welcome Lauren, Alicia, and Nicole. Hope
Hi
you're all doing well
guys.
today.
Hi, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the wonderful introduction. It's great to be here.
Well, speaking of introductions, let's do some official ones. Lauren, let's start with you. Tell us about yourself, what you do with ISSA, and your role there.
My name is Lauren Mikulev, so it's great to meet everyone. I'm the Oceania and Asia Pacific Manager. So my role and responsibility for the region is I actually oversee the region, the operations. I also lead education and training. I work closely with our wonderful team here for the Oceania and Asia Pacific region and work tremendously with our global affiliates, looking at elements and how we can address them from a global perspective, but also from a local regional perspective.
Thank you, Lauren. And let's go to you, Nicole. Tell us the same question, who you are, what you do.
Hello, I'm Nicole Bausfield. I work in accounts administration at ISSA Oceania and Asia Pacific. I look after invoicing and payments and help keep things running smoothly. I also assist with the workshops and the cleaning and hygiene expo and member services where needed.
You keep things running smoothly sounds like the most important job in my book. So
It
thank you
is.
for all thank you for all you do there. Alicia, your
Thank
turn. Tell us about yourself and what you do.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. My name is Alicia Morgan, and I'm the account manager for the region. So, all of Asia Pacific and Oceania. My role spans membership, the ISSA Cleaning and Hygiene Expo, which is in Melbourne this year, and our trade publication in Clean. I guess any account manager role is there to build strong relationships among our unique member base across all member classes, so BSCs, manufacturers, distributors, associates, from the mum and dads right through to the multinational manufacturers. So my role particularly is focused on finding ways to better support our community, connect our members, and help with their commercial success. So it is a blend of traditional account management, sales, member benefit delivery and growth. So if you have any ideas about how we can help your business, definitely reach out and we'll be able to assist.
I think what's great actually here, Jeff, at the same time is that there's a fantastic team here to be able to support the overall Oceania and Asia Pacific region, here to support not only the members and the member companies themselves, but also the teams within those member companies.
Absolutely. You have it covered, all three of you. Thank you for what you do, and I'm sure all our members down there and magazine subscribers as well appreciate that. But before we get to business, we have to know a little personal stuff about the three of you. So, Nicole, tell us about your hobbies, your favorite places to visit, things like that, your family, whatever you'd like to share.
Outside of work, I have two young kids, so life is chaotic. I love getting away when I can, somewhere warm. And with food, I'm pretty easy. I love a good steak and pasta. And I just enjoy spending my time with family and friends.
Sounds good to me. And let's see, let's go to you, Alicia. What about you? What do you like to do? Where do you like to travel
Well,
to?
yeah, so it's just me and my husband at home. During the year, love to garden. We talk about cleaning all day long, removing dirt and viruses and bacteria. So it's really nice to get into the garden and get into the dirt, do some weeding. Also in winter, I'm a massive AFL fan, which is Australian Football League. It's a bit like the US, with the punting and the drop kicks, but it's much more contact. So I'm quite obsessive with my football team, GWS, Greater Western Sydney Giants. We're not doing very well this year, but that's part of the journey. And then during summer, I go to the beach a lot. We're very fortunate in Australia that not only just in Sydney, but up and down the coast, we have like picture perfect beaches. And then during the year, I do a lot of lap swimming, just to, unwind, drop it in the winter because it's a little bit cold, but I guess maybe 9 months of the year, I do my laps.
Alicia, I am as well a football fan, and often my team doesn't do very well either. So, what are you going to do but keep cheering, keep cheering?
Yeah.
Lauren, let's not leave you out. What about you? What do you like to do in your spare time? Tell us about yourself.
Well, life is busy for me between work, and I'm also the mother of two daughters. So one could say that my household is full of communication. Maybe actually sometimes, Jeff, a little bit too much communication, but hey, that's the way it rolls. But the older I get, probably, and I'm not sure if you've also found this, Jeff, the more I value the true quality time that I have with some of the people that I have in regards to my family, my friends, and so forth. The opportunity to create true value memories, to not just probably be there in the moment, but also to really experience and remember the moment. So I'm really taking that on board at the moment. I come from a family probably of a bit of an eclectic food palette. So going out and being able to experience some different cuisines is always an experience that I encourage for my broader family as well as my friends. Sometimes let's just say that is an experience for them, but they also actually engage with it, which is wonderful. From a travel perspective, look, Australia offers some fantastic sites to be able to see in regards to being able to travel around. Each state is different and provides different opportunities, and it's great to be able to experience them. From a broader perspective, it's been wonderful to be able to experience a winter Christmas wonderland in Canada that I got to experience with my family at the same time. Such a difference from being in the land down under, where our Christmas period is actually a very sunny and warm experience in comparison to the snow. Another experience that was wonderful was also being able to go over to Disneyland with the girls and be able to see the excitement that that brought them at the same time. So being able to enjoy those moments are wonderful, and I've really highly engaged in those moments.
So, again, something in common. I raised two girls as well, my wife and I, and they're grown and gone. If you ever need some really bad advice, I've got you covered. So,
Hey, I think good advice and bad advice is fantastic to take on board. You learn from both.
yeah, as long as you know which is which, I suppose. So, well,
Exactly.
well, thank you, all three of you, for the personal touch. Let's get right to business. We know that ISSA represents the entire cleaning supply chain, from manufacturers to service providers. So, Lauren, we'll start with you on this. How do you bring those different parts of the industry together in Oceania and Asia Pacific? And why is that collaboration important for the health of the industry?
Well, I think you touched on something that's really important there, Jeff, and that's the fact that ISSA as an association does represent the entire industry. And that provides a fantastic avenue. It's a fantastic avenue because you get to look at the region, not just the region, the industry from a holistic perspective. So when you're looking at impacts, you get to be able to see where the impacts are taking on board across the entire marketplace. And that is a wonderful thing from ISSA's perspective and the ability to be able to engage. From ISSA Oceania's perspective as well, we're a big investor into the industry, and we've really tried to focus on that from the region's perspective. So I think that can be seen by not only what we've been introducing from our members and our member benefits, but also can be introduced from the investment in the ISSA Cleaning and Hygiene Expo, which we run annually, as well as into the publication, the InClean publication itself. These two are actually a fantastic resource for being able to bring the industry together. So it's the opportunity for the market to come together, to be able to engage with one another, to share, to experience, and to also be able to do business with one another. So we provide those avenues there, and we bring the entire market together to be able to network, to do business, to develop, and move forward. Also, being able to have engagement across the entire sector itself provides that avenue of being able to look at maybe what are some of the key thought leader processes that are moving forward now, but also into the future. And let's face it, I think we've been part of a market at the moment that's been an industry and a world at the moment that's required quite a lot of adapting to at the same time. So being able to have the entire industry come together and to hear the thoughts that impact the overall market is a fantastic opportunity for our region.
Thank you. Nice, honest thoughts there. Appreciate that. Alicia, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, I think, you are correct that we represent the entire chain. I think one of the biggest challenges and the strengths of our industry as a whole is the diversity, and but that's also our secret sauce, right? So the diversity brings an energy, fresh perspectives, and a real opportunity for all our members to connect and network. So as an association, our role is to be the connector and facilitator, and bringing the industry together through education, events, expos, webinars, media, and then also the new My ISSA portal. If there's like a site challenge or a product need, chances are we have a member who can step in and help. Say, for example, a kid in a school in Victoria lets off five extinguishers and you don't know how to do it. We have a member, there's a member, a restoration member, or there's a manufacturer member that can help you clean up that unique challenge or provide some insight. So I think the thing also for me personally, what I've learned talking to our members is that there's very few people that intend to go into facility solutions and services. But, they really do stay because of their community. And that's something we're very fortunate to have in our region. We have a really strong community. And I think more than anything, the collaboration between the different member classes provides a space for our members to connect and stay ahead. And what can be a very isolating industry. So, a lot of our BSc and facility services members, they're on site at all hours of the day and night. They might not have a lot of time to invest back into their business, into their industry, and into their personal networking and growth. So the association helps with that aspect.
And I think what's also really good there, and to add to what Alicia was also saying there, Jeff, is the fact that as ISSA, we're part of a global network, so we're part of a global association. So that brings with it its strengths too. So we've got the ability to not only call upon what's happening from a regional perspective, but also what's being impacting from a global perspective, and be able to then kind of like bring together the aspects that are taking place internationally as well as from a local driven perspective, and be able to connect that together and be able to utilize those resources.
Thank you for adding to that. Alicia, let's go to you on this question, then Lauren, and then Nicole, you stay awake because I want to ask you how you help organize all this, okay? So let's talk about events, education. They're a big part of ISSA's work globally. So Alicia, what are some of the key programs, the training opportunities, the events that your team down there helps organize so professionals stay competitive and aware of what's going on?
I think the number one marquee event for us is the ISSA Cleaning and Hygiene Expo. It's happening in early October this year. We're back in Melbourne for the first time since 2023, and I'm really excited to share that 80% of the floor plan has been contracted. So it's looking to be a massive show. And I would really hope everyone stays tuned for the education programming and the speaker programming that will be out soon. So that's one of the big ways that we can help both all member classes grow and educate their staff and teams. The other aspect is the My ISSA portal, which is brand new. If you don't have access, please definitely give us a buzz or flick us an email. Within that, we have the Member Resource Centre, which has things like member benefit alerts, things like ISSA Hygia Network, ISSA Healthcare, and then we also have the Learning Centre, which includes things like webinars, online courses, the ISSA metric cleaning times, which is all complimentary in your membership for all members, for all employees of the member. And so also the one big thing that's happening this year that's new for the region is that we're launching the Building and Facility Services Committee, open to all members that work in the service area. So if you're restoration, if you're a facility manager, if you're a infection prevention control officer in a hospital or a building service contractor, please reach out. We really look forward to catching up, and we're organising a meeting in May, June. So please just send us a message and we can give you some more information about that.
Lauren, did she leave anything for you?
Well, I think Alicia covered quite a lot that was actually there at the same time. She's right on top of it and on the ball. I think the world is rapidly adapting and evolving from a business climate. Our aim at ISSA is to ensure that we're there to support not only our members but their teams. I think I might have said that earlier as well. I think one of the great achievements throughout 2025 particularly was our continued development of practical resources and initiatives as well designed to support our members in their day-to-day operations. So from our perspective here as well, and from events and education side of things, as Alicia said, we've got the return of the ISSA Cleaning and Hygiene Expo in Melbourne, which is great and offers a complete education program that will be aligned to be able to help grow and develop our businesses and bring it together and hear what the leading thoughts are that are tackling the market at the moment. On top of that, at the same time, what we're seeing is the support from a workshop perspective. So as we addressed here, we oversee the Oceania and the Asia Pacific region. So we do a lot of online workshops that take place, and that allows for the ability for people across different countries to also be able to come together for these workshops. And we've seen great popularity with that. Workshops that are there and designed to be able to support current needs. So we could see that with our recent bidding and estimating workshop that took place. However, it's not just about developing workshops, it's also about looking at the resources that are there to support beyond the workshop itself. So beyond the education side of things. And I think that was reflected with the cleaning times, with our ISSA cleaning times and the new metric edition that's a support resource for there. Also looking at what's taking place from a regional perspective. So there's been a lot of regulatory updates within our market and looking at how we work with our trainers to develop programs that we can actually be able to bring out to the market to tackle those needs. So looking at things like we've done some regulatory changes for the cleaning professionals and we've brought them out for our members at the same time. So it's about looking at our workshops, being able to be there to support them as a company, but also to support the individuals within those teams itself. Looking at webinars and what's the leading topic points that are taking place at the moment. We have a number coming out addressing things that are just taking place right at this moment in regards to mold issues, but as well as in regards to healthcare cleaning.
All good activities you're engaged in down there. Nicole, you admitted earlier that you help keep it all organized. I heard a lot of stuff, a lot of activities, events from Alicia and Lauren. What happens at your end? Talk about that.
I have to make sure that I am organized. I've got to make sure that I am on my toes, on my A game, 24/7.
And you do a great job.
Oh, thank you.
So are you fielding phone calls, emails? Talk about your how
Emails,
you make
communication. There's constant communication. There is phone calls. There's a lot that goes in back end.
all right.
It's the
Very good.
balancing act, Jeff. You would know that's the balancing act we deal with directly
That's
with our members and our community, our
that's how we
international,
roll. Yeah.
as well as different suppliers. And Nicole has to be on top of that, and she does a wonderful job. And Alicia does a fantastic job of being able to really connect with our members and to be able to communicate to them the exact elements that relate to ISSA and the benefits that unfold for them.
Now, Lauren, I know you touched on some of the trends and things you're seeing now as part of our conversation here, but what else can you add about? I know sustainability is a big deal, public health awareness. What are you seeing that's really shaping the industry there?
I think the cleaning and facilities sector has gained significant greater visibility. As an association, there's been we've started to see a bigger impact when it comes to workplace health, as you said, sustainability, as well as operational standards themselves. As the industry continues to grow in scale and importance, I think it's going to be very important for leaders themselves as well to have an important role to play in elevating both the workforce as well as the broader perception of the profession. Businesses today are navigating a range of complex pressures from geopolitical instability, inflation, supply chain aspects, skill shortages, as you mentioned, as well as the rapid pace of technology change. And many of these challenges are shared not just across our industry, but I think across broader markets themselves. I think a key priority is an investment in people. As technology, sustainability requirements evolve and workplace standards reshape the sector, the skills required within the workforce are also changing. And that's where I think, as we said before, education, training, career development pathways will be essential to ensure that professionals are equipped to be able to operate increasingly sophisticated equipment, data-driven systems, and new hygiene protocols. And I think, Alicia definitely touched on that earlier. That's the strength of ISSA, Oceania, and Asia Pacific, but more ISSA in general, is the fact that we bring together everyone to be able to have that communication, to connect different companies, to connect different individuals to one another. I think we must also continue to advocate for the true value of cleaning. The work carried out across the sector directly supports public health, workplace productivity, as well as environmental outcomes. Yet sometimes I think it's historically been a little bit undervalued. I think there's been more of an importance that's been played on it recently. But I think there's a growing impact that needs to be there, and we need to be advocates for that. By promoting innovation, encouraging collaboration, and strengthening professional standards, we can ensure that the cleaning and hygiene and facilities sector continues to grow not only in scale, but also in influence, professionalism, as well as recognition.
Thank you. Alicia, let's go to you on this to add on to what Lauren just shared. ISSA has long promoted cleaning is essential to public health and safety. Talk about your team there and what you're doing to make that happen in your region.
I think within the industry, we all know that a clean built environment prevents the transmission of bacteria and viruses, prolongs the lifespan of a property, creates a welcoming space for people to come together in that property, and then also increases the commercial outcomes of that venue if it's clean. On the other side, the wider community misconception is that our industry is vacuuming, FM is cobwebs in windows, it's bins and loos or mops and buckets, a line item, right? But it's the first line item that you notice when you walk into a building. So we elevate in two ways. One, by assisting our members with the challenge they have when they do business, they put proposals, they go hunting, they try to maintain their regular client base. So we have member tools and resources that helps our members move away from the discussion from a line item and a grudge payment. Things like we provide standardization with our cleaning industry management standard certification. We assist them with communication through toolkits like the Value of Clean toolkit that helps them communicate why cleaning isn't just aesthetic, it's a investment in human health. And then we also have things like workloading tools to justify pricing and quoting through the ISSA metric cleaning times. The other way, on the other hand, is that how do we communicate the importance and the value of clean and facility solutions to the wider community, so to our service members and users. And one way we do this is through programming that elevates the work that our members do. One of the programs is the Innovation Awards at the Expo. It's open to distributors and manufacturers. And so it gives an opportunity once a year for our members to showcase their amazing innovations that they've developed over the last 2 years. And they go, they're impartially judged. And it's one of the highlights of the show floor is to see what's coming out in the industry. So that's one way we support it, because mops and buckets might seem simple, but there's a lot of technology and innovation behind them. And it's not just robotics. There's amazing innovations going on in the paper sectors, in the software sectors. And so we really provide the venue to be able to do that. And then for the BSCs and FMs, we have great community-facing programming like the ISSA Emerging Leaders, and that's really to help us promote the retention of staff and recognise that the industry is a great community to build your career in. So under 40s are encouraged to apply this year. Nominations will be opening again soon. And then the other programming that we've really worked on that has just blown up is the ISSA International Spotless Spaces competition. We had 4 finalists this year for 2026, and then we were lucky enough to get the runner-up. So that Spotless Spaces competition really brings attention to the phenomenal work that our members do one within their businesses. So, for example, one of the members that were shortlisted was a university, and it was a great way for them to promote the work of the cleaning teams within the university. And then, so that really brings attention to the wider community about celebrating what our cleaning and FM members do. So please keep a look out for that. That's part of International Cleaning Week that just finished.
I just have a couple more questions. My next one is a big one. I'd like you each to share maybe what you think is the biggest challenge in the industry, the number one challenge in your region, and what you are doing now or plan to do to help overcome that challenge. So, Nicole, do you have one to share with us?
Yes, I do. I think a big challenge is that companies need to stay connected and keep up with changes in standards, sustainability, and workforce issues. We help by supporting initiatives that give people opportunities to learn, share knowledge, and connect with others in the industry.
That's a good one. So, Alicia, what is your number one challenge you see out there that you'd like to address?
I think standardization, and it's from feedback from our members. So, what constitutes a regular clean? What constitutes a specialized clean? How do we justify those services? How do we workload those services? So, I think we have a resource already that we've mentioned before, and I feel like I go on about this resource all the time, but it's phenomenal and it's been peer reviewed. It's the ISSA metric cleaning times. Now, I would hope that everyone can keep an eye on their emails, because there's some great developments coming up through this year for calculators to help better use that resource. So that's one of the big challenges, is standardization and justifying your services and workloading. And I think the other one that's perpetual is educating and upskilling the workforce and looking at how our members can retain their staff. So how do you pick the cleaners that move into leadership? How do you keep them engaged so that they don't get poached by your competitor or move out of the industry? So like really, I think that's the challenge that all our members, whether you're a manufacturer, whether you're a BSC or a big international facility management company, is how do you retain your staff? How do you get them to be invested in the success of the business? Looking at it more than just a job of work, but a job of career. So we're really building on that here at ISSA, Oceania and Asia Pacific, through our webinars, our community, our expo, our media. So I would encourage everyone to participate in things like the magazine. If you've got stories, case studies, even challenges. How did your company overcome a challenge? How did your company clean a particular space? How has your manufacturing company developed a new innovation? Please reach out to us. And there's definitely a way that we can communicate that back to the industry and support.
Yeah, we don't have problems, we have challenges.
Yes, yeah,
No
which we
problem.
rise to.
All right. And Lauren, how about you? Anything to add?
I think we're in a really interesting time of business at the moment, Jeff. And I think we've touched on that a bit earlier, and it's probably a broader perspective. I mean, we've had rapid changes in technology. We've got a different political system and different aspects that are taking place across the industry at the moment. But that also has a ripple effect across businesses. I think one of the biggest aspects for businesses and challenges at the moment is, how do they remain agile? How do they stay on top of things at the moment when things are changing so rapidly? And let's face it, we're hearing from businesses, it's harder to forecast, it's harder to plan. They've got to stay on top of that a lot more and a lot more efficiently and a lot quicker, and they've got to be on top of it a lot more than what they were in the past. I mean, talking to some business leaders at the same time, at the moment, they feel as if, especially if we're to look at the last 6 to 7 years, there's been that constant highs and big changes that have been happening within business itself. And I think it's being able to remain agile and being able to adapt. And I think that's where an association comes in handy at the same time. Being able there to support the industry to be able to facilitate those conversations at the same time. And we've got great platforms for being able to do that. Between, as Alicia mentioned about InClean and being able to share thought leadership ideas, to be able to share the trends that are taking place within the market, to be able to hear that your voice is not alone at the same time. I think that's a really big aspect to being part of an association and the benefits in which it can bring to an industry. I think the ability to remain agile will be an incredibly important point moving forward. The ability to adapt. And that's where our resources and stuff are there to be able to support and to be able to handle that. Being able to create, as you said before, a community that touches not just on one particular area, but also on the entire industry itself, to be able to share that thought leadership aspect is also highly important. So I think they're going to be very big challenges at the moment. It's from an operational side of things for business, how they're going to be able to continue to be able to operate and to be able to work efficiently and effectively in the current climate. And that's what ISSA is here to be able to support them with.
Wrap-up question. So, Lauren, we'll stick with you. Looking ahead, what's your vision for ISSA, Oceania, and Asia Pacific? What do you want to see it develop into or help with in the future?
Well, I think I'm just going to tackle it from a vision for an ISSA. I think like financial sustainability is important for any association, but I also think there are also other meaningful measures when it comes to success itself. I think a strong indicator lies in the value delivered to members and the broader industry. I think this includes how effectively the association supports professional development, fosters collaboration, and provides a trusted platform for knowledge sharing. So I hope that we will be able to achieve that and move forward, and that our community feels that at the same time. Member engagement is a key signal of that impact, and at the end of the day, we are here to support our members. Participation in education programs, industry initiatives, which Alicia really touched on well with earlier. The publication and events demonstrates whether an association is delivering practical value. Platforms such as InClean magazine and the ISSA Cleaning and Hygiene Expo play an important role in creating opportunities for the industry to connect, to exchange ideas, and to showcase innovation. So I really hope that moving forward, that the market can see us as that valued partner, that partner with their business, that partner with the industry.
I hope so as well. And this conversation may help with that as we think
Yeah.
about people embracing everything you folks are doing down there. Alicia, what would you have to add to this?
My vision would be for more of a thriving open community, more connection with our members, and to see our members more involved with the association. So things like our members getting involved with ISSA Hygiene Network, getting involved with the BSC and FM committee, getting involved in the launch of the ISSA Healthcare. We don't exist without our community, without our members, without the non-members, without our audiences in the media or the attendees of the expo, at workshops and all that kind of thing. So for me, I will be thrilled that when we get to the end of the year, that we have more community involvement with our members, and we're really just looking forward to supporting our existing members and welcoming new members. So for me, community is our vision, and I'm really looking forward to see what this year holds.
I like that. Now, Nicole, from what I heard, and you wrap it up for us, all this means more work in the office for you, doesn't it?
I'll take it. For me, it's about working closely with Lauren and Alicia. We are a good team, and making sure both our members and non-members have a great experience, while also continuing to grow things like our workshops and the Cleaning and Hygiene Expo.
Well said. Well, ladies, thank you for your time today. Keep up the good work. I know you have lots to do.